Hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's Ryan with DP Marketing. I feel like it's been a while since I've posted one of these videos, but good to see you again. Hey, we've been really busy here. We've been working with a lot of contractors, and one of the conversations we're having a lot is a lot of companies struggling with finding a great way to know that they're going to make profit when you go out on a service call. Uh, and you know how it is, like you're going out, you're trying not to lose a customer, your customers are always whining about the price and you're wanting to outcompete. So we thought we'd throw together this quick video. We wrote a blog, it's on our website right now, dpmarketing.services. So check it out. But we'd love to talk to you about some ways that can significantly add profit to your bottom line, straight to your bottom line, by understanding more of the business. So you probably, if you're watching this, you probably know your trade real well. You know your craft, right? You might be a NATE certified tech, or you might be a great plumber. That what we're talking about though is different than just being a good tech. We're talking about being good financial stewards of your company. Um, so let's get this out of the way too. A lot of guys we talk to have this kind of thing where they don't want to charge too much. They feel like they're ripping off their customer. They're not doing right. They don't want to charge as much as the bigger shops in town. And I hear you. I get it. The trick that we found is that you're kind of missing some of the thought there. So by understanding how your financials work, how your business operates, the margins you need that you actually need, not you think you need, you're actually making sure that your techs are happy, that you can afford to pay your bills, and you don't have tax guy knocking at you. You're not having to get short-term, high-interest loans just to make ends meet. And on top of that, you make happier customers. So we're going to talk about this. Granted, we do marketing. You know, if you know anything about DP, you know that we're about giving results. So that means helping you make money. Knowing how to price your business is a great way to help you make money. So this video is all about how to start taking on flat rate pricing. If you haven't done it yet, if you don't know what flat rate is, then you're under a rock, because it's becoming very, very popular across the country. So basically you have, traditionally you would come up to a job and you would estimate, maybe time and materials, right? Just, it's going to take me 4 hours. I'm going to need to go to the shop and get these sort of things, put those together, add in 20, 30, 40% margin, and bada bing, there's your price. A lot of people do that. The other option that people often use is competitor-based pricing. So your bigger shop in town that you're trying to get the business from, they'll go in and they'll quote a job for $1,800. So you'll swing it around and go, well, I'll do it for $1,200. So both of those sound fine, but they actually probably are costing you business and money without you knowing it. So you might not feel it now, but you could be feeling this in 12 months and 18 months and 2 years, when all of a sudden you can't make your bills meet. You're having to slow down on giving your guys paychecks. So we want to make sure you don't have that happen. So flat rate pricing basically says you take everything about your financial state of your business and you wrap that into the price that you operate. So you might be thinking you already do. The first thing we need to make sure that you understand is we're trying to get your business healthy, right? We don't do anything crazy about doing exorbitant, unrealistic prices. What we're going to do is make your business healthy. The first thing to do that is we need to determine what your break-even point is. A lot of you probably do mental math or cocktail napkin math on what your break-even. So here's exactly what I need you to do. So write this down, get a calculator, whatever it is, right? The first thing before you do any of that is break your company into departments. Step one, break your company into departments. What we mean by that is this. If you're a shop and all you do is plumbing, break in your company into service, into new construction, and into installations. 3 departments. So plumbing would be service, anytime you're running a service call, anytime you're doing a new construction project, anytime you're doing an install. Break it down. If you're a shop that does HVAC and electrical and plumbing, to do the same thing and then break them down again. So say you'll do HVAC service, HVAC construction, plumbing service, plumbing construction. Break every part of your company down, and then take your financials from the previous year, from the current year, whatever time it is, and get an idea of how much you should allocate. So if 70% of your business is doing service, then we're going to take all of your overhead expense and we're going to put 70% of that into that department. And then for your smaller departments, we're going to give it that. So if it's 70% service, 30% install, then we're going to take your overhead, we're going to take 70% of it, put it on the service, 30% of it, put on the install. You'll see why this makes sense later. to make sure that the parts of your business that are making you the most money and taking up the most overhead, that they're also supporting their weight with your business. So we're going to take those down. We're going to distribute those equivalently, right? Now, so we've got that. Your company is the departments. You've taken your financials and your expenses and your overhead, and you figured out, okay, I'm going to break these down and allocate them throughout the departments. Honestly, don't spend a lot of time doing that. If it's all they have to do is equal 100%. You just have to make sure all your overhead's accounted for. The next thing you need to do is you need to figure out your parts shrinkage, parts materials shrinkage. So easy way to do this: what was the total amount that you sent at a parts house in the past year? How much of that do you think you lost to theft or breaks or just losing it, whatever? And then multiply those by each other, right? So if you think you've lost 20% of your inventory from whatever you spend at the shop, take, let's say, 10 grand, multiply it by 20%. So that's multiplied by 0.2. And that number is now your material shrinkage. So we're going to keep that around, okay? 20%, whatever it is, it can be 10%, 12%, whatever. We're going to account for your shrinkage. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to identify the cost of you doing business. You probably think you know this number, but this is the number we're going to turn out that if you bill less for this on an hour for a job, you are losing money. Actual real world money, not just in theory, but real money. So what this is going to be is you're going to take all of your total annual expenses, everything that you've ever spent out of your company, your whole annual expense, get in a list. Okay? Then you're going to take all of your job cost. Now, these are going to be anything directly related to a job. So these are going to be hiring subs. These are going to be equipment rentals. Let's take out your labor. Okay? Anything directly applied on the job. We're going to pull that out. And now we're going to take out that number that you figured out for shrinkage. We're going to say total annual expense. We're going to roll out your job cost, whatever you were at when you're on a job. And we're going to take out your material shrinkage. So however much you lost in losing stuff. This is now a number. Okay? That's your cost of doing business. That's how much money you need to keep your lights on, your bills paid, everyone happy for an entire year, but you not have one service call come in during that time. Okay, so we want to make sure that everything's paid, the IRS is happy, your bank is happy, your loans are happy, your wife is happy, everybody's happy because bills are paid. This number, total annual expense minus the job cost, labor on the job, and material shrinkage. So don't take your salary, don't take anything like that. Material shrinkage also comes out. That is your cost of doing business. You have to have this number. Now, what we're going to do is figure out your break-even point. Take this cost of doing business you have, and you're going to divide it by the number of billable hours you have in a given year. Okay, so the cost of business, it can be whatever number it is. It could be 200,000, 500,000, 5 mil, it doesn't matter. Whatever that number is that you just came up with, total expenses minus job cost minus material shrinkage, that's your cost of doing business. We're going to divide that by the number of billable hours. So how we kind of do this as a rough estimate is we're going to say if you have a tech who only does service calls, we're going to give that 1,000 hours. So one full-time tech is 1,000 service hours. If someone only does install, then what we'll say is that's 1,750. So 1,750 if they do install, 1,000 if they do service, and we're going to call this your break-even point. So now all of a sudden, this number you're looking at is how much you need to bill on a job to not lose money. So if you're taking the cost of doing business, whatever that number is, you're going to divide it by the number of billable hours you have in a year. If you have shared techs, then divide it accordingly. So if it's like 50% service, 50% install, divide 1,000 in half and divide 1,750 in half. So it'd be what? 500 and 875 or something. Divide them both in half and kind of do the estimate. This number, whatever that number is your hourly rate to keep your lights on, your bills paid, your taxes at bay. This keeps everything happy. Chances are this hourly rate is lower than what you're currently charging. Chances are. Anything on top of this number now is profit, right? This is good for your company. It helps you grow, helps you put money in the bank, helps you do all kinds of things. If you're charging less than that number, then you are literally losing money. Your business will struggle and continue to struggle for months and years. You might not feel it now, but it definitely will not get easier for you. It will get more difficult. From there, we can talk you through about like different ways to price so that you can maximize your profits. And so you can take that number and you can pass it on to a customer with a little bit of margin if you want. A lot of guys do. Or you can actually do a tiered pricing again where you give them options. We won't spend this video talking about that. What we really want to do is get you thinking about what does it mean to price your business and your service, where you make money? What does it mean to, when you get that call, to make sure all your bills are paid, all your marketing's covered, all of your taxes are done, all your loans are met. You're not having to take high interest short-term loans just to make ends meet. You're not bouncing payroll checks. The last thing we want to see is that you're not able to pay your guys, that your customers aren't happy because you're leaving in the middle of work because you can't do it. Knowing how to price your business will help you stay in business longer, take care of your families, take care of your staff, take care of your team, take care of your customers, which means you'll be in business longer and you'll make more money. So there's more to this topic. Read the whole blog. I'll put this directly on our blog page as well. So if you're here, just keep reading. If you're not here, then click here to go to our website. We'll put a link in the description. And let us know what you thought. If you have any questions, comments, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a note in the comments below. If this is helpful, let us know. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you next time.